Hi friends, welcome to the video number 11 of the video series Forced Vibration of Single Degree of Freedom Systems. In today's video, we are going to solve a problem based upon a harmonically excited 1 degree of freedom spring mass damped system, right? Okay. So in the video number 10th, what we have discussed about the general solution, complementary function and particular integral of the equation of motion of a harmonically excited damped spring mass system with 1 degree of freedom. So we have seen the graphs also. We have seen the graph for complementary function part, we have seen the graph for particular integral part, we have seen the graph for the general solution also, which is the sum of complementary function and the particular integral. So we have seen all the graphs, we have got all the formulae which will be required to solve this problem. So let us observe the problem. Okay, so in the problem they are asking that a 1 degree of freedom system has the following properties. Mass m equals to 10 kg, C means damping coefficient, is equals to 20 Newton second per meter, K, what is K? Spring stiffness, is equals to 4000 Newton per meter. It is subjected to an external excitation that is harmonic in nature with amplitude 100 Newton and frequency 10 radian per second. Determine the steady state response of this system. The initial position and velocity are 0.01 meter and 0 respectively. So what they are giving, a 1 degree of freedom system has the following properties. What are the properties of 1 degree of freedom system? Its mass is 10 kg. Mass of the system is 10 kg. C, what is C? Damping coefficient is 20 Newton second per meter. K, the spring stiffness is 4000 Newton per meter. It is subjected to an external excitation. It is subjected to an external excitation that is harmonic in nature. Right? Excitation is harmonic in nature with amplitude 100 Newton. This is the amplitude of the harmonic excitation. And frequency 10 radian per second. This is the frequency of the harmonic excitation. Determine the steady state response of this system. The initial position and velocity are 0.01 meter, this is the initial position, and 0, this is the initial velocity respectively. So first of all I will write the given data. Okay, so they have given mass m equals to 10 kg. They have given damping coefficient C equals to 20 Newton second per meter. They have given the K value, the spring stiffness value 4000 Newton per meter, and they are telling that this system is subjected to an external harmonic excitation with the amplitude 100 Newton. The amplitude of the harmonic excitation means F0, the constant force value out of that harmonic excitation, is equals to 100 Newton. This F0 is the constant force of the harmonic excitation force part, or this is the amplitude of the harmonic excitation force, right? Now the frequency of the harmonic excitation is given as 10 radian per second. This is omega, 10 radian per second. Now they are asking for determining the steady state response. Be careful, they are not asking about the general response, the total response. They are not asking about the complementary functional part response or transient response. They are asking for only steady state response. Right, means they are asking about XPT. They are not asking about XT or XCT. Right? So, finding out the XPT, the particular integral part, this is the steady state response. This is my question. Right, and they have given the initial conditions also. Based upon what? Initial condition. The initial condition they have given as the initial position as 0.01 meter and initial velocity as 0. So I'll write the x dot, sorry, x naught at time t equals to 0 they have given as 0.01 meter, and x dot naught at time t equals to 0 they have given as 0 meter per second. These are the initial conditions. So based upon these initial conditions we need to find out the particular integral part. Now we'll solve this one. So now we'll calculate the required things. First of all, we'll see what is the formula for XPT. They are asking about XPT only. So what is the formula for XPT? XPT formula I'll write. The formula for XPT is A cos omega t minus phi. Right? This is the formula. Now we know the formula for A, we know the formula for phi. We can easily get amplitude for this particular integral response or steady state response. We can easily get the phi value. Omega value we already have. Right. So I'll simply put out the values. So what is amplitude? Amplitude of this steady state response A is equals to how much? What is the formula? The formula is F naught by K. Sorry, not F naught by K. The formula is F naught by K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega whole square root. This is the formula. So the formula for amplitude is F naught by square root of K minus M omega square whole square plus C omega square. What the values we have? Whether we have F naught value? Yes. Whether we have K value? Yes. Whether we have M value? Yes. Whether we have omega value? Yes. Whether we have C value? Yes. Everything is with us. So we'll simply put the values and we can easily get the amplitude. Now I am putting the values. So this will become equals to the value of F naught 100 Newton divided by square root of K minus M omega square. K is 4000 minus M is 10, omega is 10. So square of 10 whole square plus C, the value of C is 20 Newton seconds per meter into omega, once again, is 10 radians per second whole square. Right? So the amplitude is 100 by square root of 4000 minus 10 into 10 square whole square plus 2 into 10 whole square. So we will calculate the amplitude. So it is 4000 minus 10 into 100 square plus 20 into 10 is 200. So 200 square. Square root of this is 3006.65 divided by 100 and inverse of that. So the amplitude is coming to be 0.03325. Amplitude is 0.03325 meters. This is the amplitude. And after that we need to calculate the angle phi. This is amplitude. Now the phase angle phi. So the formula for phi is tan inverse of C omega divided by K minus M omega square. This is the formula for phi. So if we are going to put the values, so it will be equals to tan inverse of the value of C is 20 into omega is 10 divided by K minus M omega square. K value is 4000 minus M is 10 into omega is 10 square whole square. Right? This is phi. So I'm going to calculate phi in radians. So my calci mode will be in radians. It is 20 into 10 is 200 divided by 4000 minus 10 into 10 square, 10 into 100 is 1000 whole square. And 10 inverse of that. Okay. Oh, not square. Here square is not there. Here. So 4000 minus 10 into 100 is 1000. 3000 divided by 200. Inverse of that is this much, and 10 inverse of that is 0.06656. So the phi value is 0.06656 in radian. This phi is in radian. Because I changed my calci mode to radian mode, so the phi value I am going to get in radian only. Now I got the amplitude, I got the phi, I can get the steady state response. Now I can write steady state response means XTT. XTT. This will be A cos omega t minus phi by the formula. So now I can write XTT equals to the value of A 0.03325 into cos of omega t. The value of omega is 10 into t minus the value of phi in radian is 0.06656 in radian. Right? So this is the steady state response, but we have not applied the initial conditions given to this steady state response, right? Till now, this is the general steady state response. So we need to get the specific steady state response for the given condition. Now we'll take the given initial conditions. So we got our steady state response at 0.03325 cos 10t minus 0.06656 in radian. Right. Now this is our required answer. We got our answer. Now you will say whether we have used that initial conditions provided or not. So here in calculating the steady state response, we have not used the initial conditions given, and even that will not be required to calculate the steady state response. The initial conditions only affects the transient response. It is not affecting the steady state response. We are calculating the amplitude and phase angle of transient response based upon the initial conditions given. We are not calculating the amplitude and phase angle of the steady state response based upon the initial conditions. What is the formula of amplitude of the steady state response? F naught by square root of k minus m omega square whole square plus c omega square. Where we are using that initial condition? Nowhere. F naught is given, k is given, m given, omega is given. So these all the things are constants for a given harmonic force, right? So amplitude of the steady state response and phase angle of the steady state response are independent of the initial conditions given. Same thing applies to phase angle also. The formula of phi is tan inverse of c omega by k minus m omega square. Which quantity we need to calculate based upon the initial conditions? None of the quantities, because all the quantities are constant only. So the conclusion I'll write here. Conclusion, out of this problem we are getting that the amplitude and phase angle of steady state response are independent of the initial conditions. This is the first conclusion. The second conclusion, the amplitude and phase angle of transient response are dependent of the initial conditions. These are the conclusions. This is the end of video number 11. Now we are going to meet in video number 12, where we'll see the steady state response in another form, right? So this is the end of video number 11. Thank you.